Great to have you with us. Now, the World Bank has approved a $35 million International Development Association IDA credit for Ghana's public sector reforms. It's meant to improve efficiency and accountability in delivery of public services for 16 selected ministries and departments and agencies. Chief Executive of Public Sector Reform Thomas Kusibuafo spoke at a mini sensitization launch in Kumasi of the National Public Sector Reform Strategy. Prince Apia was there and now reports.
Over 100 participants from Ashanti and Bonohaf regions attended the ceremony. The theme was delivering for citizens in the private sector, aimed at ensuring an efficient, effective and responsive public sector in Ghana. The 16 targeted entities comprise 5 frontline service agencies. They are Passport Office, Ghana Immigration Service, Births and Deaths Registry, Environmental Protection Agency, as well as Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority (DVLA). CEO of the Public Sector Reforms, Thomas Kusibuafo, says it places citizens first and leverage technology in service delivery to reduce corruption.
Now we've secured $35 million from the World Bank, and the implementation will start next year, January, under what is called Public Sector Reform for Resource Projects. It is taking some people are complaining a lot about acquisition of passports and that of birth and death, and also as an aspect of maybe driving licenses. We have a lot of problems. And we want to make sure that we mainstream them so that the human element and human touch and interface is seriously reduced. That is an aspect that breeds a lot of corruption.
The regional launch of the strategy document is prelude to a countrywide sensitization exercise before end of the year. Mr. Kusibuafo says effective implementation of the reforms will strengthen both the private and public sector.
The digitization, it will shorten processes. It will facilitate the work of the private sector. It will reduce corruption over there, so they will get money to expand.
Meanwhile, a results matrix has been designed to track the successful implementation. Nana Sewa Kotubonsu Amwako, a special advisor for monitoring and evaluation at the Office of the President.
And over the period of time, we are not going to wait until the end of the strategy in 2023 and ask the questions of, did this strategy work? Did we achieve the outcomes? Did we get the intended objectives? No. The monitoring evaluation role allows day-to-day monitoring and periodic review of the program and its performance. So we have designed a results matrix for the Office of the Senior Minister. And this matrix allows us to have indicators that will track the implementation of the activities. So if they are supposed to implement an activity for the next quarter, at the end of the next quarter, they are supposed to report on that particular indicator. And that particular indicator will let us know whether it's been achieved. If it's not being achieved, then we have to flag the red flag for them to know that there is a gap somewhere and it has to be implemented.
The Ghana Public Sector Reform will also support relevant entities to strengthen citizen engagement, accountability, and complaints handling. Prince Apia reporting.
Now, the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, has been speaking and have been ordered by an Accra High Court to release the passports of former head of Management Information Systems of SNIT, Caleb Kweku Afaglo. Trial Judge Justice Henry Anthony Kofi today ruled that Mr. Afaglo, who is standing trial together with 4 others, had already been granted bail by the court. Joseph Akable joins me on the phone with more. Joseph, what more can you report?
Well, Daniel, the case you record has been adjourned to December for the trial proper to start. But at the last date, when the case was called, the lawyers for Mr. Afaglo had informed the court that they had wanted to make an application. So the court fixed today as the date to hear that application. Now, today they argued that his passport has been seized since April of 2017, when the Economic and Organized Crime Office started probing SNIT's acquisition of the software system, the OBS suite, like we know it to be. And they make the point that the investigations have since concluded. They said they seized the passport because they did not want him to travel out of the country. But the lawyers came here and argued today that the investigation has since concluded. Yoko has forwarded the docket to the Office of the Attorney General. AG has proffered charges against them, and they've already started trial. And even before trial commenced, the court had already granted them bail. And the bail was without conditions. It was simply a self-recognizance bail, operating on the assumption that they are individuals who are identifiable and were willing to appear before the court when the case is called. So on that basis, they don't see any reason why the Economic and Organized Crime Office should be holding on to their passport. The concern by the Attorney General's representative was to the effect that this matter should have been filed, and the Economic and Organized Crime Office joined to respond to it, because it's not the AG's office that is directly holding on to the passport, and that the Economic and Organized Crime Office. But the judge disagreed and ruled that he doesn't see any reason why the passport should remain in the custody of the Economic and Organized Crime Office. So they've been ordered to immediately release Mr. Afaglu's passports to him.
Joseph, what does this mean for the ongoing case?
Well, it doesn't have any bearing on the substantive case. For that matter, you recall that they had requested for documents. They have been given 8 weeks to study that document. So in 8 weeks' time, they are expected to show up in court. The assumption of the court is that they were granted bail with the expectation that they will show up in court anytime they are needed. So even though the passport has been released to them by the court expects them to show up in court anytime there's a court hearing. They are supposed to make it together with their lawyers to enable the case to travel.
Thank you, Joseph Akable, for joining us with that update. Now, the Inspector General of Police, IGP David Asante-Apietu, as part of his working visit to the Western region, has commissioned a 60-bedroom barracks for the Tarkwa Divisional Police Command to help solve the prevailing accommodation situation for police personnel in the Western region. Issues of police accommodation and poor officers has become a critical challenge for the Ghana Police Service, with insufficient bungalows and dissipated officers all over the country, a situation police officers have constantly complained about. Correspondent Nathalia Kwanza has more in this report.
In July 2007, the Ghana Police Service announced it will embark on a $30 million housing project throughout the country to help solve the prevailing accommodation problems facing police personnel. Work was expected to commence between September and October that same year, but nothing was done. A typical example of such accommodation in a deplorable condition is the Fiokuma Police Barracks, where more than 100 police personnel and their families reside in these dilapidated structures. But there is a sigh of relief for police personnel at the Tarkwa Divisional Police Command in the Tarkwa Nsuaye municipality of the Western region, as the Inspector General of Police, David Asante-Apietu, on Thursday cut salt for the construction of a divisional headquarters and commissioned a 60-bedroom barracks.
I do recall my official visit to this division in 2016, when I interacted with personnel in my capacity as the Director General ICT. I spelled out the vision of the Ghana Police Service, which was the transformation of the Ghana Police Service to become a world-class police organization. The barracks was then in a dilapidated state, and I am glad to be back today as the Inspector General of Police for the commissioning of the same barracks in a transformed and modernized state.
The barracks, which was built some 100 years ago, for the first time has been refurbished through the benevolence of Goldfields Tarkwa Mines.
For those of you who saw this building about 2 years ago, you will see, or you will agree with us, the transformation that has been brought to it. This project cost the foundation of Goldfields Ghana over 784,000 Ghana cedis. Work done so far included changing of the roof, ceiling, modification of doors, windows, woodworks, replacement of the entire electrical system, and painting.
Deputy Western Regional Police Commander ACP Emmanuel Ohene Bosompim, who spoke on behalf of the Western Regional Police Command, seized the opportunity to request for service vehicles for the Tarkwa Division, as the vehicles there were in bad condition.
Security situation within the municipal areas is relatively calm, due to proactive and constant day and night patrols. However, the service vehicles on charge Takwa and Swayam district are very weak. I will be most grateful if you could consider this district with vehicles.
The IGP also cut sort for the construction of a 14-unit office for the Takwa Divisional Command. The 14-unit office, which is expected to be completed within a period of 12 to 18 months at a cost of 4 million Ghana cedis, is constructed by Go International Limited.
Back to Accra now, and President Akufo-Addo will host the man who will succeed Queen Elizabeth as King of the United Kingdom. Prince Charles and his wife Camilla are expected in the country in the next hour to start a 4-day visit, which will also take him to Kumasi, where a Durbar will be held in his honor by Asantehene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II. Ahead of the visit, President Akufo-Addo is swearing in 6 ministers who recently went through vetting. Presidential correspondent Elton John Brobe joins us on the line for more. Elton, what details have you been able to pick on Prince Charles's visit?
Okay, so then we are just like an hour and 15 minutes away from his arrival in Ghana. The Speaker of Parliament, I'm told, will now be the one to receive him at the Jubilee Lounge of the Kozuka International Airport, and then we'll drive him to the Jubilee House, the seat of the presidency, after which he will be taken through some principal streets of Accra to familiarize himself with the city of Accra. Now, everything is being done here to ensure that his stay here is enjoyed. So even here I am, where I'm reporting to you from the Jubilee House, the place is being given a facelift. There's a red carpet laid all the way from the entrance of the Jubilee House to the ceremonial gate where he will come through. The whole place appears to have been given fresh painting. Those who are in charge of households at the Jubilee House, some I'm seeing right now, are giving the flag of the United Kingdom and Ghana a thorough ironing ahead of the official visit. Now, it's going to be 4 days, but for today, what's going to happen today is that when he gets here, President Akufo-Addo will welcome him. The two leaders will walk into the ceremonial room. It's a small place where the president usually meets foreign dignitaries and then exchange pleasantries, where they have a bilateral talk, usually 15 to 20 minutes, after which the two will retire to the banquet hall where they usually will address the media. But that's not going to happen today. After the bilateral talk, the prince will leave the Jubilee House, will be accompanied by leading government officials to the Christianborg Castle, that's the castle, which some time back served as command post during the colonial rule. The idea behind this is to ensure that the place is restored and serve as a tourist destination. When this is done, he will head to Kumasi tomorrow, where he's expected to be hosted to a Durbar by the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II. Then he will visit some cocoa farms, interact with some of the farmers, and then later in the day, we'll hold a meeting with world business leaders who are related to cocoa. The meeting is to ensure that child labor in cocoa farms is dealt with completely. They want to ensure that best practices are adopted, especially in the cocoa farm. So, it's going to be 4 days, but it's starting today, and we are all waiting for him to arrive at the Jubilee House, where the whole place has been transformed to welcome him.
Interesting news there, Elton. Now, before he arrives, 6 ministers have been sworn in. What can you tell us about that?
The program itself is about 5 minutes away. Government officials are seated. The only president who is missing now is President Akufo-Addo. Very soon, I'm sure that he will walk down from the 4th floor into the banquet hall of the Jubilee House for the program itself starts. The ministers themselves who've gone through vetting and have been approved by Parliament are all seated. Kojo Nkrumah for information, Kinta Morrison for gender, Bobie for the Born-Ahafo region, and the Upper East regional minister, as well as 2 other deputy ministers. They are here with their family members. Right. It's going to be a very simple program. It will go to the swearing-in ceremony. President Akufo-Addo will then deliver his address. One of them will be selected from among the 6 ministers who are expected to go to the swearing-in to give the vote of thanks, after which the main event for today will commence.
Thank you, Elton John Brobe, for bringing us that update. Now, the UK High Commissioner has been speaking to Roland Walker about the royal couple and the significance of the visit to the two countries.
Well, you're right. The Prince of Wales is the heir to the throne. He's also the most senior travelling royal. Her Majesty the Queen has much less long-haul travel now by virtue of age. So he is the most senior travelling royal. The fact that he's coming here for 4 days and 4 nights, I think, signifies the importance he puts in Ghana, the important role that Ghana plays within the Commonwealth, and the focus that we really have on, as I said, issues of sustainability, issues of the diaspora and how we can accelerate, energise the diaspora to make sure that they are the ones who play a key role in the strengthening of our relationship in the future, and that we also look to celebrate and to promote those areas that we care most about. And if that's on cocoa, if that is on, as I said, sustainability, if that's on the people-to-people links, let's bring that out. But I hope you will see many surprises during this trip. People to me certainly talk about 1977, who were here, who were part of that trip, and talk about it like it was yesterday, and the importance of those kind of moments. I hope we create many, many more moments like that in the coming days.
Now, a mobile money vendor and a forex bureau were attacked at gunpoint this morning at Ajurigano in East Legon. Let's get the fine details of this story from an eyewitness who joins us on the phone with more. Terry Teto Doka is on the phone now. Terry, what did you see this morning as regards to the robbery?
Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Right. Good afternoon, Terry. We want to know what you saw.
Yeah, this morning, I was behind my counter, the Forest Bureau counter. So our 2 customers walk in to change money. They were having a naira. So I changed for them. I give them cedis. So as they were counting, because the man was facing me behind the counter, then I saw 2 or 3 motorbikes. They came to park. And the way that they were jumping, and as if they were removing something from their bag. So I quickly had to secure my entrance door. I lock it up. And I went to my safe room. All what I was hearing was a gunshot. Open. They'll be shooting. They shot several times. Open this door. We'll kill you. Open. So I didn't open. I saved myself at where my safe is. There's a door there. There's a security door there. So the next thing was that I was hearing as if they were hitting the door. They were hitting the security door, hitting. Then I finally hear a noise as if the door has opened. So later on, I noticed that there was no noise again. So people were mentioning my name. Terry, they're gone. So I opened the door and I came outside. As I came out from where my counter is, they made away with all what I have for the day. My vote for the day, what I buy for the day, the cedis, the pounds, the USD, dollar, naira, all is gone.
About how much will that amount to?
About roughly this morning I in place a vote of 20,000, and
20,000. Which currency?
20,000 Ghana, okay. And $800. Yeah.
Have you called the police?
Yes, we called the police. We called the local police station, Major Police Station at Asharubuche. So they also came to the scene. They came to take some photographs, and they came to pick the bullets, the rubber, the cartridge, the bullet cover.
Right.
They came to pick them up, and they asked me to join them to come to the police station.
So you're at the police station now?
Yes, as I'm speaking now, I'm at the Major Police Station.
Okay. Before you went to the Major Police Station, did you speak to any of the neighbors? Did any of them see something that we can identify these people with?
Yes, we were. I am my colleague. My colleague was behind the counter. I was inside. So him and the three customers, they were asked to lie down. So he is here with me.
Right. You're still watching Joy News today. I am Daniel Dazi. We are speaking with Terry Teto Doka, and he's handing the phone to another eyewitness, one of his customers or one of his workers, because he's the operator of a forex bureau which was robbed this morning. So we now have Andrew Osei on the line. Andrew, so you were in the room when the police, Hi, Andrew, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Great. So you were in the room when these robbers broke in and pointed their guns at you?
Yes.
What did you see?
I was behind the counter with Mr. Terry, and 3 guys came in to change Naira. So he entered inside to change the money for them. And all what I saw was like 2 motorbikes came to park in front of the shop. And then there were 3 guys on one bike, 2 guys on the other bike. They came down and they took their guns out. They came inside and told us to lie down on the floor. So I was with the 3 customers. We all went down, and they started shooting at the door because Terry was inside because we were like behind the counter. So they started shooting at the security door. They shot about 3-4 gunshots. They couldn't get inside, and one of them went outside, brought a cement block, hit the door, and it opened. So all we heard was like, "Where's the money? Bring the money, bring the money." So they made away with a bag, like, I know where he always carries a bag around. So he had his money in there. They came back to the counter. They took my wallet and my phone. They took the other guy's wallet and his phone as well, and they left.
Will you be able to identify these men? What did they look like?
Yes. I saw one guy. Like, they look like, young guys, but hardened criminals. Yeah.
So they had not covered their faces?
No, one was in a cap, a black cap with, with this jacket with the hood on.
What were they wearing? What was the color of the jackets, the hooded jackets,
black,
the trousers?
Black, and the cap was also black.
Okay. Did you see the motorbikes they were riding?
Yeah, it's just this normal motor. They are not powerful motorbikes. Just this normal Okada bike.
Right. Thank you very much, Andrew Osei, for joining us this
You're
morning.
welcome.
Andrew and Terry Tesadoka, we just spoke with, are victims of a robbery which occurred this morning at Achirigano in East Legon. Now, still to come in this bulletin, 3,000 jobs will be created in and around Kasape under the One District, One Factory initiative with the operation of the Golden Fruits Industries. The details shortly after the break. Thanks for staying with us. This is Joy News Today. Now, government has reiterated its commitments to ensure all companies under the One District, One Factory initiative succeed. At a sword-cutting ceremony at Kasape in the Esunafo North municipal area of the Bronga-Hafu region for the construction of the Golden Finger Industries, the regional director of the Ministry of Trade and Industry assured that government is determined to assist the company to actualize their vision of creating over 3,000 jobs for the people. Prince Anoba noted that all stakeholders' support will transform into a successful agro-based company at Kasape.
The Golden Finger Industries at Kasape in the Asunafo North municipal area will produce fruit juice and cosmetic products for local and international markets. The agro-based project, which requires about 4.5 million cedis investment, is expected to create 500 direct jobs and 2,500 indirect jobs for the farmers engaged in pawpaw, avocado, pear, carrots, cucumber, and pineapple production. The first phase of the project is to be completed in August 2019. When fully completed in 5 years, Golden Finger Industries will have an organic fertilizer plant, food processing plants, fish processing plants, cooking utensils department, cosmetics department, administration block, and a car park. The Achepemhening of Mim traditional area, Nana Efiepenying Ejipong Ntra, praised President Akufo-Addo for the One District, One Factory initiative. He also commended CEO of Golden Finger Industries, Jonathan Hammond, for bringing hope to the youth of Kasapen. The Bunafo Regional Director of the Trade and Industry Ministry, Prince Anoba, said government is committed to assisting the company to realize its vision.
Golden Finger, as an agro-based industry, particularly into food mills and cosmetics, will seek to provide market opportunities for our rural farmers, help them diversify their farm operations, create employment for the rural youth due to its rural settings, reduce imports and enhance exports, thereby attracting foreign earnings since it envisages to export products to the ECOWAS and US markets. This will not only boost the economic well-being of the communities within the industrial enclave, but the Ghanaian economy as a whole. To conclude, I will appeal to all stakeholders who matter so far as this industrial transformation agenda is concerned, to collaborate and support this company to succeed.
Jonathan Hammond is the Chief Executive Officer of Golden Finger Industries. He called on the youth to take advantage of farming opportunities brought on by the operations.
Having had my training from the United States, I decided to come down to do this just to help pay my quota to my alma mater, and then also to help build Ghana, as Nana Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, is trying to work on the transformational agenda of Ghana. Just like every other proposal submitted to the Ministry of Trade and Industry, one district, one factory, ours have gone through the same process, and then we've been shortlisted.
Precious Semevos reports for Joy News.
Now, a senior state attorney at the Upper West Office of the Attorney General's Department has challenged the youth to work and expose people who are involved in corrupt acts. Said Abdul Shakur says corruption permeates in every sector of the country's economy and has deprived the country of requisite development. The lawyer threw the challenge when he took his turn to speak to members of the Upper West Youth Parliament in Wa. Rafiq Salam has the rest of the story.
The senior state attorney was a guest of the Upper West Youth Parliament on the occasion of the Africa Youth Day. He was invited to speak on the topic, the youth and fight against corruption, the way forward. Lawyer Said Abdul Shakur said, though some Ghanaians think that Ghana's law on corruption is vague, he thinks otherwise.
They say that the issues of corruption are not about laws. They are not about implementations. Issues of corruption are about attitudes.
The Youth Parliament is a platform for young people between the ages of 15 to 40 years.
Now, in a related development, the Director of Finance and Administration of the National Youth Authority, NYA Lawson Adjove, implored the country's youth to desist from engaging in corrupt acts and become whistleblowers to expose persons seen to be engaging in corruption. He was speaking at a youth summit to commemorate the Africa Youth Day, which fell yesterday in the Volta region capital of Ho.
We need not look further than to recently conducted Metogo anti-corruption survey that emphasized the pragmatic steps taken by the government in recent times to quell the ills of corruption. Steps such as passing into law the creation of the Office for Special Prosecutor, strengthening the Public Procurement Act, and putting in place measures to ensure that National Health Insurance Scheme becomes more viable and effective readily come to mind. The authority commends government on these steps taken, but would further like to use this day to join in the call by other progressive individuals and institutions on government to adequately resource the anti-corruption institutions in the country to effectively deal with the individuals found capable of corrupt practices and to make corruption unattractive.
Now, Queen of Ho Bankwe, Mama Glachu, also lamented on how some Ghanaian culture and proverbs encourage corruption and called for a break from the stereotype where there's high demand on relatives in higher positions for favors, which consequently leads to corruption.
It starts from the very beginning, and it has eaten into our family. The honest people, with all due respect, you go in and you ask for a civil servant. You expect a civil servant to remain poor. But it's a matter of organizing yourself. A civil servant can put up a 2-bedroom, decent house. But once you put it, everybody say, oh, how much is he earning that he's put up this. But they don't ask, how much sacrifices has he made? What sort of help has he got? There are some helps you can get without being corrupted. But in Ghana, can we sincerely say that I have done this without being corrupted? No.
Still live enjoying news today. I am Daniel Dazi. Emmanuel Abuajibiafi standing by with the latest in business.